There is something quietly fascinating about watching someone self-destruct in slow motion while insisting everything is fine. And no, this is not a horror movie. Nobody expected Lizzo to end up here. Not after the sold-out arenas, not after the Grammys, not after becoming one of the biggest symbols of self-love, confidence, and positivity in modern pop culture. But now, people are not just ignoring the music, they are watching the collapse in real time. And honestly, it is starting to feel uncomfortable, because this is no longer just about an album flopping. This feels bigger than that. Welcome to Pop Showroom, where we bring you the stories behind the headlines. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because this story goes deeper than anything you've seen in the mainstream media. Now back to the video. It feels like the internet made a decision about Lizzo a long time ago, and now everything she does is being judged through that lens. A few years ago, Lizzo looked untouchable. Every song was everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels, commercials, radio stations, award shows, grocery stores, clothing ads. It felt impossible to escape her music. And whether people liked her or not, the numbers did not lie. She was winning. Which is why what is happening right now feels so strange. Her new album dropped, and almost nobody cared. The numbers being thrown around online are brutal. Around 27,000 first-week sales projected, according to online discussions. For an artist who once felt like a permanent A-list celebrity, those numbers are shockingly low, and the internet noticed immediately. People started asking the same question over and over again. Where did all the fans go? Seriously. How do you go from selling out arenas to struggling to get people to even stream the album? That does not happen overnight. And this is where things started getting weird, because instead of just accepting that maybe people are not connecting with the music anymore, Lizzo started blaming basically everything else. She said the industry changed, she said streaming replaced radio, she blamed algorithms, she blamed social media timelines, she blamed public attacks on her career. And that is when people started looking at her sideways, because streaming replacing radio is not some brand new 2026 discovery. Streaming took over years ago. Artists have been building careers off TikTok, YouTube, Spotify playlists, and viral clips for over a decade now. And the ironic part, Lizzo herself became famous during the streaming era. That is what makes the explanation sound so confusing. People online started reacting like they had just witnessed someone wake up from a 10-year coma. One person joked that Lizzo talks like she debuted in the 90s. Another said she was acting like streaming platforms just got invented 3 years ago. And honestly, the more she talked, the worse it got. At one point, she started talking about algorithms hiding her posts and making it impossible to promote music properly anymore. Now, to be fair, algorithms absolutely changed social media. That part is true. But here's the problem. Other artists are still finding ways to win. Every single day, new artists go viral out of nowhere. Songs blow up from 15-second clips. Unknown creators become stars overnight. People with no label support suddenly dominate streaming charts. So when Lizzo talks like the algorithm is the main reason her album is struggling, people are not buying it. And maybe that is the real issue here. The public no longer trusts the explanation, because deep down, people think something else happened, something bigger. And this is where the conversation takes a darker turn. A lot of people believe Lizzo's downfall actually started years ago when the lawsuits hit. That was the moment everything changed. Before that, Lizzo's image was almost bulletproof. Her entire brand was built around positivity, inclusiveness, confidence, and self-acceptance. She wasn't just selling music, she was selling a feeling, a movement. For a lot of fans, Lizzo represented safety, happiness, confidence, freedom from judgment. Then suddenly, former backup dancers accused her and members of her team of harassment, toxic behavior, and creating an unhealthy workplace environment. And instantly, the internet froze. Because whether the accusations are true or false is one conversation, but the damage to the image? That happened immediately, especially when your brand is built on kindness. That is the dangerous thing about building a career around morality. The second people think you are not practicing what you preach, the backlash becomes personal. And for Lizzo, it became very personal. People who once defended her suddenly became quiet. Fans who once celebrated her positivity started questioning whether any of it was real. And once that doubt enters people's minds, it is hard to remove it. That is the part a lot of celebrities never understand. The public can forgive almost anything, but they hate feeling fooled. That is why this situation feels eerily similar to what happened with Ellen DeGeneres. Both built careers around positivity. Both became symbols of kindness. And both faced backlash after accusations painted a completely different picture behind the scenes. Now suddenly, every old interview gets re-examined, every joke feels fake, every motivational speech sounds rehearsed, and the audience starts emotionally disconnecting. That emotional disconnect is deadly for artists like Lizzo, because her music depends on people believing her energy is genuine. If people stop believing that, the songs hit differently. And maybe that is why this comeback feels so awkward. It's like Lizzo is trying to restart a movie after the audience already walked out of the theater. But there is another layer to this that makes the whole thing even more suspicious. Instead of laying low and rebuilding quietly, Lizzo keeps arguing online. She keeps responding to random tweets. She keeps making controversial statements. She keeps calling herself a world-class rage baiter. And honestly, that line alone said everything. Because now people are wondering whether this is all intentional. Is she genuinely frustrated, or is she purposely stirring drama because controversy is the only thing keeping people interested? That question matters, because there is a growing feeling online that some celebrities no longer care whether attention is positive or negative. Attention is attention, and when your music isn't trending, drama becomes marketing. That is why some people think the Nicki Minaj tension feels manufactured too. It feels too convenient, too perfectly timed, almost like somebody realized people were no longer talking about the album, so suddenly another controversy appears. And once you notice that pattern, it becomes impossible to unsee. But here's the twist nobody wants to admit. The internet might actually enjoy watching Lizzo fail, not because of the music, not even because of the lawsuits, but because people love building celebrities up just to destroy them later. And Lizzo became the perfect target. She was loud, confident, successful, unapologetic, constantly visible. The internet loves confidence until the second it senses weakness. Then suddenly, everybody becomes a comedian. And the comments right now are brutal. People mocking her streams, mocking her views, mocking her image, mocking her career. Some comments honestly cross the line, and weirdly enough, that is the one part where it becomes hard not to feel a little bad for her. Because imagine experiencing all of this publicly. Imagine opening your phone every day and seeing millions of people turn your career into a meme. That kind of pressure destroys people mentally. But at the same time, critics argue that Lizzo keeps making the situation worse herself. Instead of rebuilding trust quietly, she keeps feeding the internet more clips to mock. And the internet never misses opportunities like that, especially in 2026. This is why celebrities today fall faster than ever before. The internet moves too quickly, people get bored too quickly, and audiences are more cynical than they used to be. 10 years ago, maybe Lizzo survives this easily, but today, people analyze everything. They investigate old interviews, they screenshot tweets, they dissect body language, they turn celebrity behavior into crime scene investigations. And once the internet decides your image cracked, every move suddenly looks suspicious. Even normal comments start sounding defensive. That is where Lizzo seems trapped right now. Not fully canceled, not fully accepted, just stuck in this weird limbo where every new move feels awkward. And honestly, I think the biggest problem is not even the lawsuits anymore. It is the music itself. People are simply not emotionally connected to it anymore. That upbeat, ultra-positive, motivational pop sound that worked so perfectly in the late 2010s feels out of place today. The world changed, people changed, the internet changed, and maybe Lizzo's brand just did not evolve with it. A lot of her music represented optimism, confidence, self-love, but right now, people are angry, exhausted, divided, and cynical. The mood of society shifted, and suddenly Lizzo's energy feels like a leftover product from another era. That does not mean she is untalented, it just means timing matters in music more than people realize. One shift in culture can completely change how audiences react to an artist, and right now, culture is not moving in Lizzo's direction. But here's the thing people forget. The internet is usually wrong about careers ending. People said the same thing about countless artists before. Then, one hit song changes everything. One performance, one viral moment, one interview, one reinvention, and suddenly the comeback narrative begins. That is why this story still feels unfinished, because Lizzo is either witnessing the slow death of her mainstream career, or she is sitting right in the middle of the setup before an insane comeback. And honestly, I genuinely cannot tell which one it is yet. That is what makes this whole situation fascinating, because right now, it feels like we're watching a celebrity stand at a crossroads in real time. One road leads to reinvention, the other leads to becoming another remember when pop culture story people bring up years later. And the scary part? Sometimes even the celebrity themselves does not know which direction they're heading. But I want to know what you think. Is Lizzo actually being unfairly targeted by the internet, or did she destroy her own image the second people stopped believing the positivity was real? And more importantly, can an artist built on authenticity ever fully recover once people start questioning who they really are? Comment below, because this conversation is way bigger than just Lizzo. And if you made it this far, subscribe to the channel because we are going deeper into celebrity downfalls, industry manipulation, and the stories nobody else wants to say out loud. Trust me, this rabbit hole gets crazier the more you look into it. And something tells me this Lizzo story is far from over.